One of my favorite guys is James O'Keefe. He is America's top investigative journalist with a group called Project Veritas. Now, you may not have heard of James O'Keefe if you follow the mainstream media. They do their best to shut him out. Of course, if he was a left-wing investigative journalist, he would have won the Pulitzer Prize many times over, but he is a little bit more on the conservative side. But I think that's even misstating things, because really his focus is just on the facts and letting the facts speak for themselves. What his specialty is going undercover with an undercover camera. I'll let his videos do the talking. Take a look at this. They sent someone from Project Veritas undercover to an Ivy League university called Cornell. Now, the undercover journalist said his name was Ali from Morocco, a foreign student who wanted to come to Cornell. Okay, sounds great. But listen to what Ali wanted to do and what the associate dean of Cornell said he could do. Take a look.
I think maybe, it'd be nice to start a humanitarian group that supports, the distressed communities, a humanitarian group in the Middle East, most northern Iraq and Syria. And I think it'd be important for especially these people in the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, the families and the freedom fighters in particular and their families. I think it'd be important to maybe just not only educate, but to maybe send them care packages, whether it be food, water, electronics.
There's a lot of our student organizations that do things like that all over the world.
Our journalist suggested the club would not just support ISIS, but also Hamas.
If you did supported Hamas or something like that, is that a problem? Or
the university is not going to look at different groups and say you're not allowed to support that group because we don't believe in them or something like that. I think it's just the opposite. I think the university wants the entire community to understand what's going on in all parts of the world.
That would be good. I mean, maybe to, get a group that educates on the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria and just educate people, maybe bring them in.
So here you have a foreign student named Ali from a Muslim country called Morocco coming to Cornell and saying he wants to have a student club for the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. That is a terrorist group. For Hamas, that is a terrorist group. These groups are against the law. It is a criminal act to be a member or supporter of them in the United States. It would be like saying you want to set up a Mafia Club, or even the Ku Klux Klan is more legal in the United States. It's not a terrorist group in the same way as Islamic State and Hamas. But did you see the dean? There was nothing that he would not accept. And so Ali pushed a little bit further. Could he actually get money from Cornell to bring in Islamic State freedom fighters? Take a look at this.
There's funding sources on campus.
For grants, as it were? Or?
Yeah, kind of like grants, programming money. So if I want to bring in a speaker, I could apply for $4,000 or $5,000 and be able to get those resources.
Scafida was saying thousands of Cornell University dollars could be found to bring an ISIS guest to visit the campus.
Maybe we could bring a freedom fighter to speak. Mm-hmm. That would be possible.
Yeah, we've done things like that. Yeah.
That would be great. Yeah. Just to hear that, the situation, what it's like, their lives, and why they're fighting.
Sure.
Do we know why they're fighting? Some people do.
That's a big question, and I think programs like that really do have a good place here at Cornell.
So let's recap. James O'Keefe's Project Veritas has found that Cornell University's associate dean is fine with a student club, fine with sending things over to freedom fighters in the Islamic State, including electronics, fine with taking student money to pay thousands of dollars to Islamic State guest speakers. Is there anything Cornell wouldn't do for this terrorist group? Get a load of this.
Maybe we could get a freedom fighter to come and do a training camp for students.
I have no idea.
Would that be
you'd be allowed to do something like that, just like bringing in a coach to do a training on a sports team or something.
Oh, really? Okay.
A training camp, like a coach, a training camp for the Islamic State. Do you think for a second that they would be this generous for a patriotic American group, or even just something conservative like the Republican Club or the Pro-Life Club? Not on your life. Hey, last question for you. Do you think our Canadian universities are any more sane than this? For TheRebel.media, I'm Ezra Levant.